Good morning, everybody. Can you see me and hear me? Oh no, you lost your cards? Good morning. Can you guys see me and hear me? Thank you. Hopped on a little early. I scheduled another one of these for the same time tomorrow. I'm probably gonna do an hour today, an hour tomorrow, just because Gavin is home. Okay, let me start here. Trying to go up a little bit. Any message for my Uncle G from his sister Jerry? There's action needed to be taken in the opposite direction of some kind of fear, because it's almost like when you break through the fear, you find the magic, is kind of how I want to word that. So it feels like there was a decision made a bit ago, and this is like needing to take the option that wasn't taken the first time because it felt a little bit outside of the comfort zone. There is no time where I am. Time is only on earth. And feel the passion within. That's me trying to nudge you. You deserve better. Yeah, like breaking out of this comfort zone to get some kind of freedom or some kind of release. Message for you. Needing to get in the state of receiving. It feels like there's a wound that's causing you to be in the state of feeling like you need to give, give, give. But the magic is in receiving here. True self disconnection, root chakra blockage. So working on stability, security, grounding will help you feel reconnected to self here. Will John P. becoming the director at OEA? I feel like it's just a decision between two people and it's going more in the other person's favor, at least right now. I do feel with the Nine of Pentacles, there's something that's still up in the air that could be swayed, but I would say it's not looking good. I would say it's between John and another person, and it feels like it's like 70-30 in the other person's favor right now. My neighbor's cat Roscoe disappeared 6 months ago. What happened to him? I don't feel like it's like taken and cared for by anyone. This is kind of like maybe I get a little too far away. Maybe I get turned around in some way. Almost like I don't mean to get lost or leave, and I do, but I don't feel like this is taken. Putting down a heavy burden. There's something specific that the neighbor's worried about, and that's not the case. I'm just wondering if the neighbor's wondering if someone that is a different neighbor took the cat, and I don't feel like that's the case. Psychic told me that I think I have intuitive psychic gifts that I don't. Is that true, or do I have any such gifts at all? I would say needing to build the platform in which you will then utilize them. Are they there? Yes, because we have the Page of Wands, but it's reversed. So see this portal? It's like it's there, but you haven't thrown it up to walk through it yet. So needing to establish the foundation. And to me, that feels like kind of, I feel like for you, it's like reading or listening to spiritual insights from people that would cause you to think outside of the box. Because Nine of Pentacles is reversed. So it's like I will help, it will help me to step into my gifts by watching other people use theirs or talk about theirs. So is it there? Yes, but the foundation needs to be built first. So if you want to activate it, start to walk in that direction, then it'll be there for you. How else should I handle G's situation? I've prayed, have a new crystal, and feel energy shift. This is going to sound weird, but it's what I'm getting. If you could write a letter to the wound, to the ego wound that you believe this person to be experiencing, almost like you taking the issue away from the person and addressing the wound directly, it feels like that is going to help shift something in your psyche that helps you figure out what steps to take to alleviate the way that it's burdening you, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm seeing like literally like writing a letter to the wound or like speaking to the wound, but like in a recorded way. It's like something that you need to do it and then you need to have it so you can watch it or read it back, not just say it. Like you're going to need to reread it or listen to it after. Will my son-in-law find a good attorney? If so, how? I feel like it's going to cost more than he would ideally like, or it's going to be a lot of expended energy to find that person. I feel like he finds that person through someone he knows, through some kind of recommendation. Who would your son know that was in some fast legal trouble that seemed to come quick and go quick, like came in and then went away? Either someone your son knows or someone maybe you or another family member knows. You're looking for the person that they had legal trouble that came in and went out just as quick. That's the lawyer that he needs. Although it may be a couple more dollars than he would like to spend. Messages and a song. There's a burden that you're carrying for someone else. And as hard as it is to hear, it feels like the message is if you don't give that burden back to them, and that doesn't mean like burden them, but like you need to focus on you and stop carrying that for them so that energy can go back to them so they can unpack it and learn from it. Because it's almost like someone's depending on you to carry a wound. And as long as you continue to carry that, and it feels like by carrying that, this is this person projecting it onto you and you embodying that, or you finding fault in yourself for what they're projecting onto you, that needs to stop because it's only hurting you and it's causing them to not be able to complete that lesson. Existential despair. This is someone who doesn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but until they get shaken out of that energy, it's going to continue that way. Yeah, attachment wounds. Time to detach so they can heal their attachment wounds because all they're doing is projecting that onto you. And come on, card. Existential despair is the card that fell on the ground, not attachment wounds. Attachment wounds stayed on the desk, stayed attached. So the existential despair, this person needs to kind of feel like they're forced to handle it on their own in order to do so. My granddaughter and I used the whisper card one time. We looked in the vicinity at the couch where we were sitting, and I cannot find 7 cards plus autograph. Oh no. Well, 10 of Swords in reverse, there is some kind of recovery. A higher perspective on where you have not yet looked. It feels like I almost want to say like I picked these up up and I move them, mind looking in this. Why does my camera keep doing this? Almost like you're looking in the one room, but it would be somewhere else because it's like I pick these up and take them, not thinking. I put them down and they maybe get buried under something. Do you have like a basket type thing on your kitchen counter? For some reason, that's what I'm being shown. Like if there was like magazines or something or like mail, it's almost like it's in with something else where you wouldn't think to look because it's not where it should have been. It was moved accidentally. For some reason, I'm being shown like a wicker kitchen basket or like something that has other paperwork in it. Feels like they're together though. Like I walk with this, put it down, don't realize, and then missing. Message from my spirit guides. You're about to get some kind of major clarity on a loss. You're about to get major clarity on some kind of rejection or loss that was actually purposeful redirection from your spirit team. Almost like if you would have, yeah, if you would have gotten what you thought you wanted back then, you wouldn't have space to hold what's coming in. But you're about to learn that before it comes in. So you're about to get a major perspective shift here. It feels like it has to do with another person. So I don't know if that's like some kind of breakup, some kind of friendship loss. You're about to understand the why of it. If anyone sees marks on my face, I had to go back to the IPL place. I forgot to say this. I don't want anyone to think I have bruises. The sun damage removal place, it gets darker before it gets lighter. I had to get a couple spots touched up. So if you see things on my face, it is that, not bruises. All right. Any messages for my mom today? There's something about to or currently coming to the surface emotion-wise. I want to word it as on purpose, like it's happening now on purpose. Spiritual bypassing, because before it was reburied when it came to the surface, and now it's time to face it and deal with it. Emotional repression. It's almost like there is just a bottle of emotions that's about to come to the surface, and she may need a little support through handling this, but it's happening now so that it can be unpacked and no longer continue to be carried. Yeah, like are you going to love yourself through the emotions that are difficult to sift through? I'm almost seeing like quicksand. Before, when they would come up, she'd push them back like quicksand, but this time they need to be unpacked. Has my son's father got a message for me? Communication, yes. It feels like you're about to get some kind of shift here, that there like a caution with it, like look before you leap, make sure that you cross the T's and dot the I's type of thing. Not that there's any kind of like issue, but it's almost like he's guiding you to maybe slow down and be a little bit more cautious with the details. Yeah, 4 Pentacles reversed, making sure the foundation is stable. Not every seed is going to sprout like you intend it, and that's okay. Being very mindful with the details is important right now. Dragonflies. If my passing has been difficult, I'm sending you joy and adaptability. Oh, and I didn't mean to pull from that deck, but my son's father, does he have a message? This is the central sun. Abundance, downloads, regeneration, and success. So I feel like that's a little message of I'm very much with my son as well, because that wasn't even the right deck. Can you tell me a good lawyer for my oldest? I almost want to word this as he needs someone who's very cutthroat and maybe looks like a little bit of an a-hole from the outside. Like this is like uh almost like when he first comes across this lawyer, you may feel like, oh, he may be a little much, but that's your guy, is what I'm getting. Yeah, King of Pentacles in reverse. He may feel like a little much. I want to word this as an aggressive older male within like a 15-mile radius, 15 to 20-mile radius from you. Aggressive and maybe seems like a little bit of like, but that's, for some reason, it feels like what he needs in this case. Message from your spirit team and the song. Well, the only way out is through, and you're being guided to sit with it as it comes to the surface. Father wound. So this can be a literal father wound. This can be lack of stability, security. This can be from a relationship. It's masculine. It feels like the masculine in someone else damaged the masculine. You know, we have divine masculine and feminine in us. It's like that part of you, the trigger is coming to the surface so that you can transmute it, and you're being guided to sit with it. It's not a, why do I keep dropping everything? It's not a punishment. It's an opportunity for freedom from this wound. Suffice by NF is the song. Last Wednesday, on my way to pre-op appointment, found a penny in the parking lot, and after my appointment, I found a quarter. Is there a message there? And a penny, and then a quarter. Penny, and then a quarter. Almost like breadcrumbs that are leading towards a certain event. But it almost feels like it correlates with something from childhood. Like that is the breadcrumb that you're seeing because it's a symbol of something from childhood, because there's some kind of impending situation where fairness is going to be restored to your peace of mind because of you putting the pieces together of something from that childhood situation. Yeah, something that did not go well is being corrected, and you're being shown signs of it. Let me do some of these. Any messages? You're feeling disconnected from self right now, and it feels like it's hard for you to take action. Yeah, spiritual stagnation. Inner child wounds. Almost like there's this desire for release from your inner child, but you know to do that you're going to have to maybe face some wounds that you've been avoiding, but that's what's making you feel stuck. So almost like needing to do something either creative, but it also feels like there's a need for a creative solution for a logical problem. So either doing something like inner child creative or coming up with that creative solution. It feels like either one of them will help ease the stagnation. What should I concentrate on for my spiritual path now the abandonment wound has gone? Feeling different. King of Pentacles reverse, Six of Wands reverse, King of Swords. Taking divine action on this Now the abandonment wound. So you're no longer abandoning yourself. It feels like a money wound is in focus here. Specifically for not feeling like you're not where you want to be yet, or feeling like, is there a place for me where I want to be? Spiritual clarity confusion. Starting to unpack and understand why certain things before couldn't work out because you needed the wisdom of going through like an obstacle course to get out of certain energies, if that makes sense. So working on a money wound specifically around feeling like you aren't where you want to be yet, but that's with good reason because you needed the wisdom. Can I get a first name of a lawyer that will help my oldest? I have letters S and B. And what did I say? I said what, 15 to 20 miles within the area. You're saying you're having trouble though. So maybe it's a little further, maybe 20. I'd veer towards 20-ish miles. S and D are the letters I'm getting. Again, someone aggressive that kind of seems like a little bit of a, you know what lawyer I'm getting reference to? You know the show Suits? What's his name? Harvey? The main lawyer guy in Suits, not the assistant, the main guy. That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this. Thank you, Lori. Let's pull a card for you. Where's my other deck? Your next chapter is going to cause a lot of people to wish they had treated you better. This is quite literally Justice in reverse, High Priestess. This is like whatever worked against you publicly, you're about to be elevated. So you suffered privately for things that happened publicly, and that's about to be made amends for. And what wound was that? Inferiority wounds and rejection wounds. Whoever rejected you and made you feel less than, that situation's about to be corrected. Will we have another apartment lead? I feel like yes, but you're going to also have a lead that doesn't pan out. Yeah. Almost like you still have some thumbs down before you get to the thumbs up, but I do see something coming in. Is Roscoe still alive? Oh, so maybe he wasn't taken to be like, I don't take you, but I find you. This gives the energy of like, I was alone and I'm no longer alone. Yeah, higher perspective. I would say it's likely that someone's at the very least like leaving food or something out for him. So I do feel like yes. I can't tell if it's like taken in or like someone's just leaving something outside for him. My Etsy shop sales have really taken a nosedive lately. Can you help me figure out what's going on? I would say something about, for some reason, I'm like feeling aesthetic, like a change of like a rebrand of the whole thing. I feel like that may help. I also, with the Knight of Cups, feel like some kind of offer. I don't know if that's like flash sale to drive business in quickly, or if it's like an offer with your offer. So I'm giving you this for free with this, maybe like a digital product or something like that. Um, and I also feel like needing to either incorporate social media or incorporate maybe like some kind of I scratch your back, you scratch mine with other similar creators or something to that effect. It's like I feel like it's these are things that you maybe have thought about and haven't done yet because it may feel like you're taking a little bit of a loss or making less, but it feels like it's going to help drive more business in. I'm gonna go back to the other list after this one. I miss my mom so much it's difficult to connect to her sometimes. Any messages from her? She's always there and ready to communicate with you. It feels like it's when we are really feeling our loved ones in that way and communicating in that way, it requires us to be very, very present within our own mind and in our own body and in our own energy. And it feels like the connection is feeling like it's not as strong because there's something that you don't want to sit with inside. And that's not your fault. It's just that's what our consciousness will do. If we say, no, I want to avoid that, our brain will be like, okay, I'll avoid it for you. And it just feels like that's kind of what's going on there. Betrayal wound. So unpacking that betrayal wound will help you feel like you're able to pick up on her more and connect more. I also feel like making a playlist of songs that remind you of her. So when you do maybe feel like you want to connect and feel like you can't, that playlist may help guide you in the right direction. Oh, see, you are never alone with a lighthouse. What did I say? Guide you in the right direction. And remember me by the happy memories we created. So, yeah, I'm still with you if you let yourself sit with those feelings and emotions. They can teach you where the healing needs to be. This song. I feel like I'm being led to a specific song. One second. Fix You by Coldplay. All right, let me find where I was on this list. Any information on your past life? We have loss of a loved one, construction. To me, that's I lost my spouse. Brainwashing, why? Wild West. Extraterrestrial. This is very interesting. This is like I lose a spouse and I am then nomadic, or I go and try and maybe like chase the feeling of being alive again because I feel like this loss took such a toll on me. Yeah, Knight of Cups in reverse, taking back a love offer, or a loss of a loved one in this case. And then I go and try and find healing. I would say there was a major loss in this past life that required you to run to try and find yourself, is I guess how to word that. Like I can't slow down until I feel like I've unpacked my feelings while on the move. So in this lifetime, you may have dealt with some kind of escapism of mental unpacking of emotions, or the opposite, where you feel like you can't get away from them. Oh, where did I go? Is it true what my daughter told me on Monday? She is confused if it happened. It is in relation to her father. So is it true what she told you? Ace of Swords is a card that deals with truth. And the star would be kind of like seeing things clearly. Why is that happening? 1 second. Which that's kind of interesting. So the camera going out feels like she is confused if it happened. It's in relation to her father. She is confused. Camera goes out. Yeah. I almost want to word it as I'm not intentionally lying. I'm telling you things how I remember them, but something is skewed in the way that I'm remembering them. Like the camera going out, I'm not remembering things as they were, or I can't see things clearly. Because this would be the action that I'm worried about wasn't the action that happened, but I'm also not lying. My conscience is clear. I would word it as I'm telling you the truth to the best of my ability, but I might not be remembering things clearly or articulating them clearly, or I might be misinterpreting certain elements of what I'm telling you, even though I believe to be telling you the truth. Message from my spiritual community with a song. Oh. You're showing up for yourself and no longer betraying yourself in the ways that you may have been before when it came to dimming yourself or feeling like certain opportunities were too good to be true for you because of maybe feeling like certain pieces were behind, or feeling like because you made certain choices in the past, almost like you were waiting to have to experience more lessons, and you're starting to recognize that you're caught up on that. You're caught up on the lessons. That like kind of like flipped in a circle. Like you feel like you still have more to do, but actually you're ready for what comes next. Bigger Than by Justin Jesso is the song. Any message from guides about my dad? It's like you're questioning if you're doing the right things or understanding things in the right way, and you are. It's almost like there's this wall up that's keeping like a flow of understanding from happening, but so you're questioning yourself or doubting yourself, but you're making the right decisions or you're understanding things the right way. I just want to word it as like you're playing your part well, and where you're being guided to hold back or where you're being guided to push, you're understanding the messages from your guides correctly. Like I keep wanting to say you're playing your role well, or you're doing what you need to do well, whether that be for him or for yourself. Am I closer to meeting my lasting person? Now I'm more in receiving mode due to the release this week. Yes, you've stopped running from things when they come to the surface and start facing them. This has helped to restore the balance, and this is victory on some kind of love offer. So it does feel like it's getting closer. I just want to say, like, the timeline is speeding up a little bit for you because of the work that you're doing. Was, oh no, I'm sorry. How long will it take me to find the right next one? I feel like you're going to find something that you can tolerate, not something that would be your first choice. So that could mean to kind of keep your eyes open and leave this as a temporary transitionary thing. Next full moon in reverse. So I feel like not within the next month. October is a month that's being highlighted. So in between, so not within the next month would be the end of July. So August, September, October feels like significant months for this. But again, it feels like a transitionary thing, like until I find the next thing that actually is better. So you might still, yeah. I'm here temporarily. I keep my options open. The next one after that ends up being better, but I do find something temporarily by October. My daughter-in-law might away to keep my granddaughter. When will her revenge stop? It's 12 years. What can I do to improve? Keep away to meet your granddaughter. It almost feels like there's a rock bottom that needs to occur here. It's like I'm still not willing to see things from a different perspective in regard to this granddaughter, as in the daughter-in-law. What can you do to improve the relationship? I almost feel like this is a balls in her court type of thing. And it feels like right now she's unwilling to see things like this is like a I'm right and I refuse to even entertain the idea that I could be anything less than 100% right about my perspective. What wound is the daughter-in-law dealing with? Attachment to material possessions, which I take to mean like I'm putting too much stock in what I'm understanding in the 3D and not listening to my intuition because of some kind of karmic blockage. It almost gives me like I'm death gripping my partner and I'm trying to control everything too much because of how I was wounded in the past. As in the daughter-in-law, I feel like this is something that it's like she needs to wake up to see things from a different perspective. It doesn't feel like there's anything you can do that would cause that to happen quicker, unfortunately. Are any of my new puppies reincarnated from either Sadie or Rusty? I don't feel like that is the case, no. It could be that Sadie or Rusty are a guardian over them, but this to me is not Sadie, and then this would be not Rusty, but there is some kind of divine connection, just not a reincarnation. Do a couple of these. Should the path I walk on be more of a light left-handed path? Any better way to explain it so I can understand it a bit more? I feel like this is kind of taking a little bit from each path. I almost feel like this is one of those things where it's like the path less traveled, where it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but not really sticking to feeling like you have to limit yourself to one of the paths. Yeah, an offer of love. It's like as long as you stay aligned with the intentions of your ultimate end goal of your why, staying connected Staying connected to your why. Why am I doing this? What am I trying to achieve? What am I trying to experience? What am I trying to explore? Staying connected to that will allow you to experience bit of both paths or multiple paths. But as long as you stay aligned with the why, the path doesn't matter as much, is kind of what I'm getting. Um, Karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story and live your truth. Look at that. It's a person, okay, or an angel being with a bunch of different arms, but they're all connected. You can take all of the paths as long as you focus on clearing what doesn't need to come with you. And it's the pen is in your hands, so you can write the path that you want to take. Do I have guides? I don't know, and if so, who? Big yes with the Hierophant here, Three of Swords in reverse, and the Nine of Cups. This is someone who's helping you get what you wanted after some period of loss. This almost feels like an energy that you started picking up on. Kind of, why is this not staying on? After some kind of tower moment, this to me feels like a bad breakup, like an energy you started picking up on after a bad breakup or a bad loss of some kind. It feels more like job loss, friendship loss, or breakup than a passing, though. Yeah, if we couldn't see eye to eye, misunderstandings and arguments, don't worry, all is forgiving. After some kind of bad breakup, this energy started to interact with you then. That wasn't the deck that I was trying to get, though. Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, crossroads, and no wrong path. So an energy that has been trying to show you the multiple different options after one path that you thought you were going to take didn't pan out how you thought it was going to work. It feels like a masculine energy, almost like you needed that divine masculine protection with this guide. I kid you not, I just felt like I heard get the dice in my head to get I. I. I can't think of any guides that would have an I name, but maybe Google I name in archangels. Will there be any changes coming up for me? It feels like you're going to be redefining a connection that you have with another person because you're going to see through their BS. Almost like I gave you too much credit, as in you gave someone else too much credit. And it just doesn't feel like anything dramatic. It doesn't feel like a betrayal. It just feels like you start to see through someone's facade and you start to shift the way that you give the world. So an ending of a cycle. Either you cut off access to this person fully or you start to focus elsewhere in some way because of seeing past this facade. Feels like a good thing, even though it may be I almost wanted to say annoying, even though I was going to say uncomfortable. Are you serious? Hold on, let me exit out of this app and go back into it. I don't know why that's happening. Okay, we'll have to figure out why that's happening later. I've been trying to connect my higher self. Am I getting anywhere? Also, Lucifer keeps popping up. Why? Does he have a message? I feel like the next step in getting closer to your higher self, it feels like you've made a lot of progress quickly, but now you feel like it's not happening as quickly or it's more stalled. And it feels like what needs to happen is a connection between your higher self and your inner child. A renewal of a shift in your perspective about yourself that allows you, almost like there's a bit of self-forgiveness for something that you allowed to continue that's triggering your inner child, and almost like communicating between your inner child and your higher self to clear that. Like maybe because of an inner child wound, I just want to say you tried to convince someone to see your worth, knowing that they wouldn't be able to see it because they couldn't see their own. So it's like needing to forgive yourself for that will help release maybe like a little bit of a barrier between your inner child and your higher self, which will allow, like, imagine like, you know, that game where it's like a tower and there's a bunch of sticks in it, and then you put marbles in the top and you take away a stick at a time and you see how many marbles fall through. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. And your higher self wants you to take out the sticks by allowing forgiveness to come through. As you forgive yourself, you take sticks out and allows the marbles to come through, is kind of what I'm seeing with that inner child wound. A token, yes. Oh, a pumpkin, Halloween. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Got you. You're about to see someone's mask fall off with that Halloween. I'm taking that like literal. Someone's wearing a mask or a costume with the Seven of Swords. Three of Cups is reversed, so a foe disguised as a friend. You're about to clearly see the truth so that you can make the best decision for yourself. Um, And what's on the other side of that is a ring, but when you flip it over, if the pumpkin's upright, the ring is reversed. So it's like you're about to maybe deny access to someone who had access to you, like a breaking of a commitment, but it doesn't feel like a relationship. It feels more like a friendship or a partnership, or maybe even a family member. You're about to see someone's true colors clearly so that you can make better decisions for yourself. It's not a punishment. It's like, here's this knowledge so that you can make better decisions for yourself once you know. All right, after this one, I'm going to go back to the other list. I feel a major shift happening. Any insights? Your latest video spoke volumes. What was that one? Oh, the TikTok one. I think I know what you're talking about. Page of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, King of Swords. Major shift is happening. It feels like this is a reframing of a mindset that you've carried for a long time because someone else projected their version of this onto you, but you're about to learn how something that works for you better. Yeah, some kind of wish fulfillment. Wish fulfillment, getting wisdom on why things didn't work out the first time around because of this mindset. It's like you had to hold a certain mindset and make decisions in that in that state of mind. Throat chakra. Didn't I have King of Swords? You're going to start to be showing up for yourself and representing yourself differently because of this mindset shift. It's like you needed to experience things not working out because of this mindset so that you could recognize that this mindset was something that needed to be broken or reframed. This feels like going through some kind of gateway. Troth light codes, light integration, great teacher awakening, divine magic. What did I say? Going through some kind of portal. You're getting the either to teach others how to not do the same or to teach yourself how to get out of some kind of previous stagnation. Why is this not working today? Okay, go back to the other list. Message from spirit guides. A lot of this theme coming up today. It feels like you also are about to learn that someone's not who they claim to be. You have been wondering if somebody has either been gaslighting you, or like if two people you're close to, has that person been gaslighting that person, but like somehow that would affect you, right? So like someone who's close enough that if they were gaslighting one another, it would somehow affect you. It feels like either that or personally to you, you're about to get confirmation of someone's gaslighting, is how I want to word this. Yeah, Five of Wands reversed. Then they can no longer do it. Once you see it clearly, then they can no longer do it. Um, this kind of feels like a long time coming, and my nose is itching, which usually is like an indicator of like someone kind of talking behind someone's back or in a bad way. But you're about to get clarity on all this so you can release it. Trying to see if there's anyone I didn't get to yet. Here we go. I was able to trap the feral cat that I was caring for years. Is she suffering from being overly stressed, or does she have a medical issue? I need to know if she needs a vet. Yeah, I would say there's something that would not be visible to the outside that a vet would be able to figure out what's going on. So I don't know if that's like testing, like, you know, feces or something like that, or blood tests. It's almost like you can't really see it from the outside, but it's affecting on the inside. And it's something that there's not clarity on yet. So I almost feel like if you were to guess, it could be this or this. I feel like it's something else, like a different option. I do feel like bringing to the vet would be a very good, yeah, star in reverse. It's almost like, how do I word this? Something that you would not be able to figure out and unpack on your own to get the right treatment for. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily difficult treatment, but it's something that you wouldn't be able to pinpoint without the inside look of what's going on the inside from the vet. Will I find love? It feels like there needs to be action taken to alleviate some kind of wound so that you can manifest someone who will have a healthy communication style. It feels like you've had enough lessons of unhealthy communication style. Success fulfillment gap. So it's almost like you've had things in your life that look good on the outside but don't feel good on the inside. So healing the wound behind the lack of not lack of communication, but the communication, healing the wound that causes you to manifest situations of unhealthy communication. What is that? Fear of vulnerability. So working on fearing vulnerability in communication style will help you manifest someone who's not a repeat of a lesson, but is someone who's able to provide you what you need. So yes, but healing that wound so you don't just manifest another lesson instead of like a healthy relationship. Last night when I was upstairs in bed and my husband was gone, my mom was asleep, I heard a male voice downstairs say hello. Who was that? I would say some kind of spirit. This is like I'm disconnected, but I've manifested. I'm kind of stuck here, but I'm not coming for harm. This to me feels like you picked up on like a maybe a a spirit that's attached to the home or attached to someone within the home. Justice. It doesn't feel like a bad thing, though. It's just like, hey, I'm here, I guess. This deck might not work because I don't feel like you know this spirit. Oh, that worked. Okay. I've gone through my life review and there are still so many lessons to be learned. So someone who's sticking around till they learn their lessons or until they unpack whatever needs to be unpacked so they can move on. Interesting. Am I close to connecting with my spirit guides? Needing to take action on grounding yourself so that you can connect. The potential to connect is there, but it feels like not as close as you'd like in terms of not that you can't connect, but your comprehension of the messages. It feels like right now there's a wound that needs to be healed so that you can understand them better. Unresolved grief and emotional repression. So when there's something that we don't want to sit with and unpack emotionally, our consciousness will make it so we don't ground and we're not present or as present in the moment. So working on this unresolved grief that's causing you to suppress your emotions will help you be more in flow to connect, because it will help you stay grounded, present, and then able to understand the messages. Almost like if your spirit guides drop a bunch of signs and symbols, but if you're not present, you won't pick up on them. And then when they use them to communicate with you, you'll be like, I don't really understand. So being more present requires working on the unresolved grief. I'm going to go through finishing these real quick and hop back over to the other list for a couple minutes. And then I have to hop off to check on my child. My health. What do you see over the next few months? Feels like you've made some kind of change or you're going to make some kind of change in hopes that there will be improvements quickly. And it feels like it's not going to happen as quickly as you'd like. It's more of like an uphill climb, almost like you feel like, okay, I've gotten up the hill. It's going to be like this now, like more straight, but it feels like it's still a little bit more uphill than you'd like. That doesn't mean it's not going to work, but I'd say be patient with yourself. Don't allow yourself to see it as a punishment. It's just something that's going to take more time than you may have desired. Will R and G get married or have any more kids? I'm not seeing that right now. I'm seeing maybe something that's going to need to be overcome here. It almost feels like we need to get on the same page, or we maybe start to grow apart. Okay. It feels like they need to, when they start to grow apart, make a decision. Are we going to fight through it, or are we going to go separate ways? It feels like they're going to try and fight through it, but it feels like there's a lot to overcome right now. Should I change my son's diet or stick with keto? It's almost like there's something that while it's benefiting him, it feels like there's something still missing. So I don't know if there needs to be more. I don't really know too much about how keto works. It feels like there's something that is not completely alleviating a deficiency, like a vitamin or mineral. It feels like there needs something out. The levels are not where they need to be yet. And it feels like stagnancy in the improvements that you're wanting to see. Like, why isn't this all the way improved yet? And it feels like it's because of that one piece. So I feel like I would stick it out with keto for now, but the making sure that everything is enough of it, or incorporating maybe like some kind of additional supplementation to make sure that the levels are right is kind of what I'm getting. I feel like sticking with it for now while figuring out what also needs to be incorporated with it. Can you tell me who my guides are? Getting very strong like grandma, 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 or great grandma. Feels more like grandma. This feels like someone who's very protective over you, but maybe that you didn't necessarily have the longest relationship with in this life, or the closest, I guess. But it's almost like this person has really taken up for you on the other side. Yeah, it's like you would never see this coming, that this person is the one who's really been guiding you a lot. I'm very proud of you. Keep pushing through. Well, that's direct. I heard I should not work closely with other spiritual people. Do you see that being the case? If so, why? I would say for this time frame, yes, because you're meant to be focusing more on your own thing. Self-exploration, dedication, taking back some kind of offer. It's almost like you're playing paint by numbers and you're still filling in all the blanks of your own picture. So until that's completed, it wouldn't all the way benefit you to mix in other people's colors onto that painting, if that makes sense. A big thank you to Ashley. The ultrasound lump under my arm wasn't cancer, just as, oh, yay. Swollen lymph node. Yay. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, good. Perfect. Swollen lymph nodes, so something enlarging. It feels like what this is the manifestation of is something that you've been holding on to for a long time that needs to be released so that you're no longer stuck in the past, but you didn't previously have any safe space to talk about it or like feel your emotions about it. So it manifested as something physical. So we're going to want to deal with that wound so it doesn't re-manifest as something physical. Again, unresolved grief. Spiritual awakening challenges. It feels like you're having trouble identifying exactly where the grief is coming from, but needing to start to unpack that will make it so a situation won't re-manifest as another like scare like that. I'm happy to hear that. Will all of my family members that are set to go be able to come on the family trip? It feels like someone is considering changing something, but they aren't all the way sure yet, or it could be a close call. But it feels like they end up going because death and rebirth is reversed. That's a lack of change, even though it was being considered. I feel like there's about a 25% chance that there's a one female that's not going to end up going, but I feel more likely that that person ends up going, even if there's some kind of consideration to not go or some kind of like, I'm scared of this happening. It comes close to happening and then it doesn't end up happening, so I get to go, if that makes sense. Message from guides this week. This is a theme today. This feels like you're going to catch someone in a lie, but it's just for you to know. It's like, I see you clearly. I see the truth behind the illusion here, but I'm going yeah, independence. I'm going to use it when I need it. I'm not going to use it in the moment. Yeah, it's not over yet. I'm not using this yet. I'm going to use it when I need it. Almost like your pocket and save it for when you need it later. Okay, this is driving me nuts. I have to delete that app and re-download it. What is causing hair loss? Feels like stress, honestly. I'm constantly thinking about the future. I'm trying to make choices and decisions. Everything is constantly spiraling in my mind. It feels like stress has manifested into a physical symptom, and that physical symptom is responsible for the hair loss. It also feels like it's some kind of mineral deficiency, is what I'm hearing. Mineral deficiency. So maybe testing that kind of, I don't know, I think they have like home tests of that kind of thing that you can do. Vitamin and mineral levels. Whose relative of Michael's did I pick up on yesterday regarding 143? I love you, woman. That's Michael. And that's someone you would not expect, or someone that you are not considering. Maybe someone that, maybe like if you're like, okay, it could be one of these 5 people, it'd be someone who's like lower on the list that you'd expect less. Someone who is always there for him very quickly. Like, but then why would you not expect them? Whoever you would expect least about who would be there for him in the blink of an eye. It's like the person that you're like, okay, it's this. It's like the last person, but it's someone that would have been in that scenario to be there quickly for him. Item's been there, then gone. Who, why, bulb flicker. Item's been there, then gone. Who? Family member who's trying, someone who you consider to be very close to you, who's trying to pull the wool over your eyes to not talk about something and resisting some kind of change. Almost like I'm trying to confuse or distract is kind of the energy. Will I go to Alaska and when? I'm trying to get through these quickly. I'm going to do a couple more on the other list and then I have to hop off. Will I go to Alaska and when? I'm feeling like there's a worry that you have that's causing you to not all the way go through with certain plans. It's almost like you haven't fully committed to the plans yet because you're worried about something. It feels like once you fully commit, it has the potential to happen, but you haven't fully committed to wanting to do that yet because of there's some, it's almost like there's a projection of a fear that's causing things to not fall into place for it because you don't need to experience the fear of something or the anxiety behind something or the worry behind something. I don't see it right now, but it is possible if you decide to, I just want to say like restart the process of planning it. How is this birth going to happen for me? This pregnancy has been so difficult. I feel like you're going to pleasantly surprise yourself with it. Almost like your body's going through all the motions to prepare you, even though it's seeming like the pregnancy is very difficult. It's almost like your body's doing what it needs to do, almost like an energy detox. And if you've been very sick, I guess that could be a physical detox as well. Like your body's taking spiritual instruction, doing what it needs to do to prepare for the birth. So when the birth comes, you're going to pleasantly surprise yourself, even though right now it seems like what the heck is going on. Seems like one sacral chakra blockage. Oh, that would make sense. Self-identity, that would be the sexual centers. Um, Now the whole thing went out. It must be my internet. It feels like there's trauma stored in that area, in that sacral chakra area. And that is why the pregnancy is being so difficult, because that is being cleared to make room for the easier delivery when that time does come. Sorry, this keeps going out. I don't know what is happening. I'm going to exit out of the app and re-download it. What does the rest of 2024 have in store for me and a song? I'd word this as the building phase. Things might not happen as quickly as you'd like, but that's because you're putting all the bricks in place and making sure that all of the, what's that stuff they put in between bricks? Like the laying of the bricks is what I'm seeing. Like you're putting all the bricks in place. So it wouldn't be as quickly as if you called someone and had them come build it for you, but it's going to be done the way you want it to be done. So being patient with yourself. Lotus Flower by Whale and Miguel is the song. Oh, you're opening up and blooming like a lotus. So that takes time. You can't expect to bloom overnight. All right, I have 3 more of these, then I'm going to hop back to the other list for a couple minutes, and then I have to go. Am I shifting out of sickness and fear now? What do I need to do to move forward? This is taking an action in the opposite direction of a fear because you're strong enough. Some kind of wound that as you face it, things start to unstagnate for you. And my eye is itching as I said that. Seeing something clearly, fear of vulnerability, and grounding deficit. So allowing yourself to be present in the moment and do things that make you almost like forced to be present in the moment. That's when you'll see where any stuckness or fear still exists so that you can transmute it because you're strong enough and you're being given the opportunity to do so. So shifting out of it, yes. Allow yourself, like as we shift out of a certain energy, things come to the surface so that we can then rise, almost like the stuckness and fear are weights on a hot air balloon. So you cut away a stuckness, you cut away a fear, the hot air balloon goes higher, and then you experience things from that level. So different emotions come to the surface. So allowing yourself to sit with them as they arise is the goal. The 5th anniversary of my husband's passing is just a few days away. Any messages or directions? How do I word this? Hold on. Okay. I almost want to say if he was saying this to you, he would say something like, I'm going to just tell you like it is. I'm going to be very upfront with you. It feels like this anniversary is going to hit you a little bit harder than maybe the previous ones did. And there's a message of 5. I'm going to be there to hold your hand through it. But also I want you to be prepared that you're going to feel a little bit more emotional than you may like to feel. So you can either use that to remember those happy moments and kind of allow yourself to unpack and sit with that energy, or you can allow yourself to kind of drown or numb to it. And he doesn't want you to do that because you're strong enough to let yourself feel it and express it. So be prepared that it might be a little challenging. Sometimes I move things around and I'm sending you good luck and fortune. So quite literally, keep the energy moving, don't stagnate or stuck it, and you'll be able to move through it more quickly. Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John is the song. I'm going to do about 3 more, and then I have to hop off and go to the bottom. See. Is my ex-husband suppressing his true sexuality? I'm hiding the path that I'm really on. This is quite literally like a half lion, half person, because I don't feel ready to face the emotions that come with honesty of me maybe feeling like I'm not sure where I fit. I would say yes, there's some hiding of I don't feel safe to express myself, if that makes sense. Oh, Nicole, I keep forgetting to text you this one. How does 1, 2, 3, 4 be? Oh, Ace of Wands. There's the 1, and there's the 4. 1 to 4. Highlighting some kind of new beginning. Orion activation, supernova, recreation, renewal, and birth by light. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breadcrumbs towards a new path, starting from the inside out is how I want to word that. Yeah, the Fool, taking the leap of faith. Is this business? Magician. Gifts. Oh, your gifts. Oh, almost like Alice in Wonderland, like follow the white rabbit. Like when you see them, when you see those numbers, it's like there's more to see here that will help align with your spiritual awaken further, is what this feels like. Some kind of gateway you're walking through. Because you healed what wound? Because you healed inner child wound. Because you healed the inner child wound. Oh, that would make sense. Alice in Wonderland. I said that's like a more of a children's movie. Let's see. How to be in touch with my higher self. That is quite literally the only way out is through your emotions. Emotions, feeling them, allowing yourself to sit with them or sit in them. What emotions do you need to feel? Emotional expression, inhibition. So you're holding on to a lot that there wasn't a space to release or express. Inner child wound. How do you get in touch with your higher self? Directly through facing that inner child wound. It could be a lack of nurturing. It could be a creativity blockage. Whatever one of those you're experiencing most heavily right now, taking action in the direction of that will help you to connect better. I do one more. I'm trying to see if there's anyone I didn't get yet. Okay, last one. Any messages from my good friend Mike? Ooh. Yes, because that's the Emperor upright, and he's holding a chess piece, and he just dropped these on the floor. Mike is highlighting an opportunity to heal. This feels like a rejection wound. Almost like you're going to experience someone who you felt rejected by, and you're going to witness how you're better off without that energy or that person, and it's going to help something really make sense for you. Yeah, taking something back. You're about to heal that wound further because you're about to see how it was divine protection all along. I am learning over here, and we will be together again. All right, everyone, I have to hop off to go check on Gavin. I did schedule a live for tomorrow, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. What are the things I have to say? If you see any spots on my face, they're not bruises. It is from an IPL treatment. It's going to fade in a couple days. Stan.store/The Reckoning Co. is the only way to find all of my stuff. What is happening here? How long was that like that? The Whispers deck is almost sold out. I think there's a couple more on TikTok and maybe like one more on Etsy. And then on the Stan store, there's pre-order availability. The next shipment should be in between July 6th and 8th. It's shipped out today. Mods, I made a video yesterday. I'm going to be working on that probably tomorrow, getting the codes to you for your monthly readings. So watch that video from yesterday on how to email Nicole to get your code. Hopefully we get a Karen Reed verdict today. I think that's it. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to my mods. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.